Okay, and we'll go over the media app. So media can be accessed just by hitting that music note icon there. And it's actually currently displayed here at the top, but just by double tapping it like that, it goes ahead and does a full screen for us. If you ever wanted to adjust the screen, like go ahead and do a half, you can hit the square in the bottom. Or to do a full screen, tap the icon again, or simply hit the square in the bottom left here, and we're at full screen. Let's go into FM, so if you'll select that for me. There we are. And here's your FM tuner. Real simple setup. You can use the buttons over there on the steering wheel. You can use these two buttons here, or you can actually put your finger on the dial and move it back and forth. Okay. Let's see. Once you actually find a station that you want to add to your favorites, you can hold down one of those empty slots to add it, or hit that heart with the plus sign. That will go ahead and bring it into your favorites menu down there. Okay. Equalizer button, if you'll go ahead and select that for me. A little square looking deal there. It's your bass, mid, and treble. Make all your adjustments right there. And fade and balance, if you'll select that tab for me. There you go. You can actually focus the sound on any spot in the car just by dragging it or tapping in that particular area. Okay, great. Let's close this out. We'll go back to browse.
So we're listening to the radio now, but I've turned the volume down. If I just
Correct.
wanted to stop listening to the radio, what's the quickest way to just turn it off?
Well, the quickest way to turn it off is what you did before. Just by pushing that button in, it's going to go ahead and mute it for you. There's not really a...
Okay.
Right. Since this is an application, there's not really a power on or off. It's either muting it or turning it down, basically.
Okay.
All right, let's go to browse. There we go. And we'll go to internet. Okay. Since I know you were saying your wife liked a station over there in England, why don't we go into TuneIn? So we'll hit that.
Wish I knew what the name of it was.
And let's go by location. Okay, of course we've got all the different continents listed there, so let's do Europe. Okay, and then we'll scroll on down. Let's see, it might be listed as the UK, yep. There we are. So we might need to tap on that one more time. There we go. And then you can even find by name or genre. There it is. Yep.
Wow, this is impressive.
Oh, yeah. And let's see. Classical. There we are. And there's all of our UK classical stations.
Well, I think it's this.
Okay.
She'll be happy.
Oh, yeah. Give it a little time to connect, and there it is.
Oh, yeah, she'll like that.
Oh, yeah. So I'll tell you what, why don't we go ahead and add this one to our favorites. We can do that just by hitting the heart with a plus sign. And there it is.
That's cool.
Yeah. So if you want to adjust the volume, of course, you can do it over there. Or if she's sitting here in the passenger seat, she can do it just by hitting this.
Oh, great.
Okay.
I'm not sure that's a good feature with a kid in the passenger seat, but
right. But handy thing to have, just in case. So let's go back to browse one more time. And then My Music and Devices, just below Internet. There it is. Okay, and there's your iPhone. So essentially this is going to work like a big Bluetooth speaker in the sense that you can actually bring up an app on your iPhone, Pandora, Spotify, whatever it is, audiobook app, that kind of thing. It's going to go ahead and play it through the speakers for you. There is one little limitation to it in that you can't bring up your whole phone menu. So you might have to go ahead and navigate in your phone to either, iTunes or the particular app, get it started, and then you can have some basic controls in here in terms of play or pause or advance forward or back, but that's going to be about it.
Actually, I think that's great. It always annoys me in a car where you're paired with the phone and you lose all of the nice iPhone or iTunes app navigation, and the car has some really lame navigation compared to it. So it's great to be able to use your phone's menu.
Sure, absolutely. Okay, we'll jump down to favorites there. There we are. And there's our favorite from TuneIn. So it's actually going to go ahead and save favorites across all the different media applications. So Slacker, TuneIn, AM, FM, XM, they'll all be listed right there. And then if we go to recently played, just below that, of course, there's all the stations we brought up so far.
That's handy.
A couple quick shortcuts to show you. So if we're in Now Playing, now we're in TuneIn and you want to jump to favorites, just hitting that takes you to the favorites menu. Don't have to go back through all the tabs that way. Clock symbol is going to take us to recently played, right there. And this symbol over here, music notes with the lines, like again, here we are in TuneIn. If we wanted to jump to something else we can just go ahead and tap that and select on one of the media applications. It'll automatically take you to the last station there. Mm-hmm.
So what's the distinction between that and just hitting the media button?
Well, so this is, okay, like for an example, let's say we're here and we want to jump to your iPhone. So basically it's just a quicker way to do it rather than being now playing and then going to browse and then selecting my music and devices. It's just a way to just jump to it right away. Mm-hmm. Okay.
So will that, if he had once his phone finished syncing, will it present him with his music library on there?
It won't, no. So it would, essentially what it's going to do is it's going to either default to whatever the last thing that was playing on there was. It'll bring that up. But for his whole music library, he would actually have to navigate to it on his phone and then go ahead and start it, and then he could control it from here. But otherwise, he can't display his whole library or phone menu just yet.
Which is actually great, because otherwise a lot of cars seize control of the phone and you can't actually use the phone to command your music anymore.
Sure. And actually, since you have the Sound Studio package, you do have kind of an expanded hard drive here in the vehicle. Eventually, you will be able to transfer songs over and save them on the hard drive. The capability to do that, though, essentially depends on software that hasn't been written yet. So once that is, it'll be able to interface with other devices and save it. But for now, you'd either stream through your Bluetooth, or you could connect up a thumb drive, plug it into the USB ports right down here, and it will actually read off of that thumb drive. Those same USB ports you can also use to charge your iPhone or different peripherals, that kind of thing. Okay, let's go to nav. Little red arrow right there. There we are. And there's our nav system. So we'll do a full screen. Just hit that square in the bottom left for me. There we are. And there's our navigation view.
Beautiful.
So just like on iPod, iPhone, that kind of thing, you can go ahead and adjust the zoom just by pinching and squeezing. There we are. Or by using the magnifying glasses there, either way. And if we want to toggle off from satellite mode over to street map version, just hit that satellite button for me. And in just a minute, it'll begin to adjust. There it is. By hitting the traffic button there, you can actually bring in live conditions from Google. So it will come right in. There we are. And just allows you to get a little bit better handle on what's going on out there. Works similar to the one in your phone. So if you go ahead and start to type in an address, or actually the name of a particular venue, it's going to search for it and list them there automatically.
Well, let's see if the place we were talking about going for lunch is still in business.
Let's see, Mellow Mushroom. Closest one's right there in Brandon.
This one.
Mm-hmm. Yep, so you have the option to navigate to it or call it. We'll go ahead and select navigate. And it's going to start to draw the route for us. There we go. There it is.
Proceed to the highlighted route onto Columbus Drive.
So you've got your turn-by-turn directions up there. And then here, of course, you've got the full display. You might have noticed that the volume was pretty loud, and if you actually had music playing and you tried to adjust the volume either with the click wheel or this, it's only going to adjust the music overall, not the vocal prompts. So to do that, you'd have to come here and dial it down manually, or muting it altogether, of course.
So is this volume setting relative to the music level, or it's just an absolute volume setting that's specific to the nav?
Specific to the nav here in this case. Yep. You can scroll down through here, see all the different turns as they're coming up, which, of course, there aren't many in this case.
Proceed to the highlighted route onto US 301 North. Proceed to the highlighted route onto US 301 North. Proceed to the highlighted route onto Columbus Drive.
Stop.
There we go. Okay. Yeah, since we're sitting inside here, it's not getting the greatest read on us, but once we get it outside, it should improve a bit. But in any case, that would have displayed your route there. There are a couple limitations to the system that might be addressed in the future. One of which is the fact that it only picks one route, so you can't choose between multiple routes at this point, although maybe we'll see that coming. The other is you can't choose options like avoid tolls, avoid highways, that kind of thing. But again, maybe we'll see that change.
Okay.
For now, if you wanted to access previous destinations, go into history, is going to show you your recent searches and recent places there.
Okay.
Okay.